Okay, all right. Let's stay in Parliament.
So whether you came as a green man or you came as a blue man, you just have to be Speaker for the House.
So you're seeing a lot clearer now because of the change.
Yes,
okay.
Of course.
All right, let's talk about this issue of the 7-member committee that you all agreed to, even though I know that the NPP
what
had
do you mean by
position.
agreed to?
Well, the House has adopted. Isn't that the language of Parliament?
Ad hoc. It's an ad hoc committee.
Well, it's not been constituted yet.
Yes, but
the Speaker.
You've been given 31st of March to present members from both sides.
Yeah, so at that point,
this committee,
then the committee would be deemed to have been constituted. At this point, I don't think that any committee.
Let me put this into proper perspective. We're talking about the petition presented to Parliament on behalf of UT and uniBank on the issues of
no, if I may clarify,
the regulatory work of the Bank of Ghana and the Ghana Stock Exchange.
Not UT and uniBank.
Okay.
But by their founders. It's
because they no longer exist.
No, by the founders. You see, if you say UT, that's a corporate entity.
That doesn't even.
But the petition is coming from 2 individuals.
Okay.
That founded their respective banks, and they thought that there are a lot of things that are not clearer to them.
So let's go back to the beginning. It makes a lot of sense when
which one?
When we say that, I just want to go back to the issues.
Oh, okay.
That Parliament passed
it makes a lot of
laws.
sense, is what I asked. Which one?
What I'm about to say. The argument.
To approach Parliament.
No. The argument. No. I'm not talking about the issue of the petition, Mr. Mercer. Is the argument that I am.
Thank God you brought this.
That I am reiterating. It's an argument that I'm reiterating. That's why I start from the point of it makes a lot of sense. What has been said to the effect that Parliament makes laws and the regulators use these laws to regulate their work.
Thank you very much.
And if you find that a regulator has done something that you're unhappy with, the place to go is the courts. But why do you come back to Parliament? That sounds convincing to me. So why is that being tolerated by Parliament? I guess I'll start with you, Mr. Dafamako, because you agree with this position, don't you?
Yes. There were issues regarding the procedure, but our standing orders, as it is presently, covers that copiously. And if I may refer you to Order 76.1, 2, 3, and perhaps 4. 76.1 says, every application to Parliament shall be in the form of a petition, and every petition must be presented by a member who shall be responsible for the observance of the rules contained in Appendix A to these orders. A petition not relating to a breach of the privileges of the House, so that's an exception, and which, according to the rules or usual practice of the House, can be received, shall be brought to the table by the direction of Mr. Speaker. Very, very clear. 2, in presenting a petition, a member shall confine himself to a statement of the parties from whom it comes, the number of signatures attached to each of the material allegations.
Can you wrap up for us?
And the request contained therein. 3, all petitions shall be ordered to be laid upon the blah, blah, blah. So clearly...
So you're open to taking any petition at all? Anybody can give you, Mr. Dafamako,
exactly.
petition.
And let me give you plethora of examples, even when I served under the 7th Parliament. There were accidents at Kintampo waterfalls. Residents petitioned. And when it was heard, and then it was also coupled with a statement from the Member of Parliament for the area, an ad hoc committee was commissioned to look into it and recommendations made. When prospective students seeking admission to the Ghana School of Law wrote exams and failed, and they thought that the failure rate was inexplicable to them, they wrote to the petition Parliament. And when they petitioned Parliament, my brother and I belong to a committee that the matter was referred to. We look into the matter. I'm not surprised that today, interview is not part of the admission criteria, the admission procedures to
but this,
of law. No, hold on.
These ones that you say.
No, let me.
This is isn't there a fine distinction between the cases you've mentioned and this one that we have on the table?
Any Ghanaian who has a problem and thinks that he can petition Parliament by outstanding orders and by the available laws could do that. So if these two founders of their respective banks thought that, well, we've been told certain things, we are still not clear in our mind, we want to petition Parliament, can you really torpedo the process of admissibility?
Okay, Mr. Japa, he's gone back to your standing for this. There's proper grounding for this, isn't it?
There's no proper grounding for anything. Unless, of course, the subject matter of a petition is irrelevant. Nobody is challenging the right of individuals to petition Parliament on a matter of public interest or some grievance that he has no legal remedy. Because the University of Ghana School of Law students didn't have a legal remedy. Please.
They were not even students.
I sat here quietly when you were speaking.
Well, I'll take.
You are my brother, so let's not do this.
Am I?
You are not? Oh, you want us to go into the Cheme Zabuzu? The Kintampo waterfalls incident. That was no legal remedy.
I'm your friend until we came to the studio.
There could be a remedy in thought. They petitioned Parliament, their member of Parliament issued a statement. But this is a matter that is pending in court. The revocation of the licenses are the subject matter of a pending litigation initiated by these same shareholders of these two banks. So, question that I ask is this: has Parliament got a right to set up a parallel process of investigating a matter that is pending in court, and assuming that that right exists and they exercise that right, and the outcome of the parliamentary investigation is completely at variance with the outcome of the judicial process? What happens?
Are the matters exactly the same? What they are asking?
They are challenging. The matter that is pending before court. What is the matter that is pending? How is it different? The matter that is pending before court is challenging the revocation of their licenses, and they've come to Parliament with a petition for Parliament. Look,
to see whether or not the regulator,
Madam,
Bank of Ghana, Ghana Stock Exchange, misconducted themselves.
If a statutory body is deemed to have been in breach of its statutory function, your course of action is to the court. Earlier on, we were talking of separation of powers, co-equal branches of government. Is it the function of Parliament to adjudicate in a matter like this? I think not. And so, for me, of course, we haven't gotten there yet. The composition of the committee, the terms of reference of the committee, whether indeed Parliament will adopt the committee, and the nature of the investigation that the committee would undertake is yet to happen.
The fact that Parliament has agreed to form a committee in itself, is that not?
I don't know whether Parliament agreed. It was not put to a vote. Parliament decisions are taken through resolutions.
But there was a debate.
What debate? The Speaker said that he has admitted the petition and that the leadership should constitute some committee that would then determine the nature of the substantive petition that has been put before Parliament. Okay, I'm saying that, you see, we ought to walk a fine line. And look, I know Mr. Abuabin personally. Of course, if he has a grievance, if indeed the action that was taken by Bank of Ghana was wrongful, I support his action in court. Why not? He's a citizen of the Republic of Ghana. He has rights. But Mama, please let me, because this is very critical.
The question was.
No, I would take your question.
Doesn't the court deal with the legal matters?
And what is Parliament supposed to do?
An administrative process.
No, the court deals with both legal and administrative matters. That's why the court deal with judicial review applications are the sole preserve of the court. If you are dissatisfied with an administrative decision, you go to court for judicial review. I'm saying that, look, citizens have a right to petition Parliament. There's no dispute. The rules are clear. But the subject matter of the petition is important. In any event, if you look in the Constitution, Article 183, which sets out the Bank of Ghana and its functions, are they subject to direction by any organ of state?
Is that how you interpret it?
Oh, I'm asking you a simple question.
Would the work of the committee be directing?
Indeed, the Bank of Ghana Act, which was passed by Parliament itself, is clear as to the autonomy, the independence of the Bank of Ghana in the performance of its functions. So how is Parliament going to direct them to restore somebody's license? How?
But you
see, so look, that's why the leader of Parliament, Honorable Oseche Mensah-Bonsu, was arguing that, look, you are doing something that would leave open a certain route that would be beyond control. So the suggestion then is that if you have any matter, go to court if you have a right to go to court. And during the pendency of the court action, if you think that you are not happy, I don't even know whether they are happy or unhappy about the proceedings before court. I'm coming, please.
Just
bring a petition to Parliament. Is that how we want to go?
Are we saying that the only option that citizens have is go to court?
Of course, when there's a breach of your rights, where do you go?
If we have
no. If there's
people,
but we sat here, we agree fundamentally that there are separation of powers. There are separate functions for separate organs of state. We agree. Parliament is essentially a legislative arm of state. But of course, matters of public interest come up and people then petition and Parliament makes recommendations. But can Parliament direct?
But Mr. Mercer, aren't you going ahead of the work of this committee?
I'm not going ahead of any, but I said to you, no, hold on.
These recommendations
I said to you here that we are early days because the composition of the committee will come, Parliament will have to adopt it, terms of reference will have to be given the committee. But I'm asking these germane questions at this point. That per my understanding of the rules, is this a subject matter that Parliament can entertain?
So I
think not.
Let me ask your colleague, is this a subject matter that Parliament should entertain?
If Parliament can entertain the subject matter of the mass failure of an entrance examination to a law school. If Parliament...
The students were not in courts.
Why? Who says so? Do you know how many times they went in court? In fact, at the time they came to Parliament, they were in court. My brother knows. We were all members of the committee. They were in court. In fact, by the time they petitioned Parliament, their motion for injunction was pending to injunct the law school. They were in court.
I remember.
If Parliament can look into merrymakers who went to Kintampo waterfalls and became oblivious of the dangers that could have befallen them, and a tree fell from a height of about 200 meters and crashed and killed some in the pool. If Parliament could look into that and make recommendations to the Ghana Tourism Authority to take steps to ensure that safety measures were installed at tourism attraction sites. Why can't Parliament look into the conditions under which the licenses of banks were revoked in this country?
Why now? Why under the 8th?
It is not about whether now or yesterday.
Isn't that relevant?
It's about the decision of the petitioner. There's no time bar. I've read the rules to you, the outstanding orders. You should show me from the Constitution, from the Parliamentary Service Act, from outstanding orders, where it says that Parliament cannot receive petitions in respect of any other matter. In fact, the supremacy of Parliament, which is a doctrine in constitutional law, says that we cannot be stopped by any other organs of state.
So let me ask you, as officers of the courts.
Yes.
Is this a matter that Parliament should be entertaining?
Why not? The supremacy of Parliament. If a Parliament can enact a law today, that will say to the effect, the doctrine of sub judice, that is where matters before a court can. Look, who says that it cannot be discussed? It only says the merits. And are you aware that the parties before the court can today decide that they will discontinue the matter?
Can you honestly discuss this matter without touching on the merits?
We can and make recommendations that will lead to legislative reforms. That is what the institution of Parliament stands for.
From the way you started off, Japa Mercer, it didn't sound like your group is willing to put forward members to constitute this committee.
I didn't say so.
No, I didn't say you said.
No, of course.
From what?
In fact, they are opposed to the process in itself.
So are you open?
I'm not in leadership.
I get it.
And of course, you had. Oh no, hold on. You had the Speaker's directive. Was for the leadership of Parliament to constitute a 7-member committee. So I'm the wrong person to be asking whether my side.
You are absolutely
it hasn't come up. Hold on, I can confirm. Hold on.
So it hasn't come up. If your name is mentioned,
had like 10 minutes.
Please,
you give
please.
If
your name is mentioned,
when you speak, I sit quietly.
Yes, but you had a much longer time.
If your name is mentioned, knowing the background that you have, would you offer to be on the committee?
Well, being on the committee,
and I know he's being considered strongly.
Being on the committee gives you an opportunity to articulate your views and make a case why the committee has no mandate to investigate whatever it is that has been placed before it. Because as far as I'm concerned, look, I don't have an issue with even the matter pending before court and whether Parliament has a right to investigate matters that are pending before court. Necessarily, yeah, I said so.
You said so.
But that's not
so
the
you
crux.
have a problem.
That's not a crux of the.
You are questioning our locus.
No, that's not the crux of the point that I even sought to advance. I'm saying that the central bank, which is a creature of the Constitution, Article 183, which is a creature of statute, which statute grants it independence. How?
In the performance
please.
Of its function.
Yes, but the revocation of the license is a performance of the function of the central bank. How is Parliament going to direct them to restore a license that they are independent in administering? How?
Can I rebut? Because you made the same point earlier. I used 2 points and then you went back to him.
Please do.
One, we gave the same mandate to the office of the special prosecutor, the same expression, that in the performance of its functions, they are not amenable to any other institution. Even though OSP is found under is placed under the AG's office. That's the institution, that's the supervisory institution. But we are saying that in the performance of its functions, they are not amenable to any other public institution. Now, isn't the Bank of Ghana under the aegis of the Finance Ministry? Are they not?
What are you talking about?
What am I
Let him learn. Maybe you'll get it. Mm-hmm.
Look, the Bank of Ghana's annual reports, it comes to Parliament. As we speak, 2 annual reports have been laid. We interrogate it.
What's the conclusion that you're drawing?
The conclusion is that it is in the performance of your functions. But when we see that in the performance of your functions, you are not clear, you are not accountable, we have a power to interrogate the issues.
When we see that in the performance of your duty, you're not accountable, let me use one of your terms.
Yes.
Are you saying when like you say, a prima facie evidence?
No.
Is there something like that established in
No,
this
somebody
matter?
has brought a petition.
Yes.
That the Bank of Ghana breached its own rules in terminating my license.
Where's your recourse?
Hold on. Japa, hold on. You are too emotional.
I'm not emotional, no. I'm just surprised.
No, you can't be surprised.
No, I am.
But somebody has brought a petition, my dear. 2 persons have filed petition to Parliament that in the performance of the functions of Bank of Ghana, they have breached ABC rules in terminating or cancelling my banking license. And you are saying that we don't have the power to look into that.
And do what?
Okay.
Have you seen their relief? It appears you have not even looked at the petition.
I've looked at it.
They are saying that for Parliament to make further directives.
How is Parliament going to direct an independent institution to perform a certain function?
Why?
How?
Why can't we do that?
How?
Why can't we do that?
You're going to amend the law?
Of course.
Oh, okay. Say so.
I am saying that it
Then what it means is that you can only make recommendations that would lead
but that is what
reform.
we do.
But you cannot direct the Bank of Ghana.
No.
That's a matter of fact.
Oh, you haven't made that argument. You are saying that
I've said
you have the power to consider it at all. But I'm saying that it will lead to legislative reforms when we are properly informed. That you cannot be capricious, whimsical in the determination of such decisions.
Are you drawing that conclusion?
No.
Okay.
We are analyzing the issue from his perspective.
296 exercise of discretionary power. If there's a breach, Article 23 is clear. Where you go?
This is not a discretionary power.
But that's exactly what you're saying, that they are capricious, they are being what?
Hold on, they are alleging breach of statute. They are alleging breach of statute.
If there's a breach of statute,
but he has
what is your recourse?
Japa, calm down. Robson, calm down. Calm down. And be a parliamentarian this morning.
So you're saying that...
Seek the interest of Parliament this morning. You are rushing to executive. You sound more executive than people who are already in executive.
So what you're doing is discussing the possible outcome
because the law permits Parliament to do
of the
that.
Committee's work based on the petition.
Let a report be prepared. Let us interrogate the content of the findings and the recommendations.
And where would the report go?
It will come back to Parliament. And then after I am sure, after a very exhaustive debate on the matter, there will be directives to the Ministry of Finance to maybe come back to the House with some legislative reforms. That is what we do. We use the law to engender development, either in the financial sector.
But the process of lawmaking does not start with you, does it?
It can start with us. Now we are private members' bills and motions and all. In fact, what is happening is a private members' motion. Pursuant to Order 76. Because it is the Honorable Ayariga who is actually through a motion laying these 2 petitions before the House. It's not the people who have come to Parliament to lay it.
This could be a novel case, I guess.
It is not novel.
Well, what is happening in terms of, as you put it, the founders of UT and uniBank presenting the petition?
It's not novel. In fact, what they have done is to actually have recourse to Order 76. Others have actually, if you go to, there's a portion under petitions. Others have used other associations.
It's in the annex.
Exactly.
You sound very excited about this.
It's not about the sector. It's about the fact that Parliament is capable of handling any matter.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
and that is signed in the Republic of Ghana.
Okay.
Exactly.
31st is just around the corner.
Yes.
So we will see the constitution of this committee and the terms and all.
Where you go. Directives have been given. They are in the majority. Even though they are not a majority, somehow with these proportional things, they are always in the majority. It is sad.
Is that why your people are not happy?
Yes! Why do you give them 4 and give us 3? It's part of the issues.
the Minister of Finance designate, finally, thank God he's well, who appeared before the committee. You're not a member, but I've seen you in the chamber.
Yes,
before.
yes, and I will go there today, I'm sure, to support because.
Who are you supporting, the committee or the Minister designate hearing?
I'm an ardent fan of the competent Ghanaian, Ken Ofori-Atta. And so, at all times that I've gone into the appointment committee, it's essentially because the person appearing before the committee is known to me.
It's an interested party.
Absolutely. So I attended Godfrey Dame's vetting. Of course, I attended Matthew Opoku Prempeh's vetting. I attended a couple of people as well.
And I will attend yours.
Well, by the grace of His Excellency the President, if that happens.
By the grace of God, if you find favor with the Excellency, I will attend yours.
I agree. Grace of God and favor with the President. Yes. That's a correct.
I remember the NDC saying that there were lots of things they wanted to ask the finance minister designate then if he had appeared before the vetting committee before the presentation of the budgets. Is it too late what you wanted to find out from the finance minister designate?
No, why? I'm only hoping that the man notified Parliament that he was unwell and that he was to go on for medical treatment. I hope that he's well now, strong enough to do the 2 days vetting that he'll go through. 2 days?
Yes. But you're not a member. How do you know it's going to take 2 days?
I'm a member of the House. And I think that the issues that will come up may start.
I understand that because of his recovery, he may not be able to stand the long, drawn-out session that we saw Godfred and Osler and co go through. And so it's possible that,
Dr.
yes, they will limit his sitting to a maximum of 4 hours.
Okay.
And so that if there are other issues that needs to be addressed, then they will take it the next day.
Another day.
Yeah, so that we can deal exhaustively with the matter.
But Parliament is rising on Tuesday, aren't you?
Tuesday, that's 31st. Or Wednesday, 31st.
It's rising on Tuesday. My understanding is that this whole process must quickly go through so that you can give an approval or not before you rise.
It's not the fault of Parliament, so nobody should stampede us into doing anything in a hurry. The President had over 3 months to do this. So if on medical grounds, he could come back in April, we could go into recess, we could adjourn and then take him during recess. Because for now, you see, let me make this point.
Couldn't this have been done by video link or something?
No. What? Video what? Please.
We saw the Supreme Court. There was a witness
please.
At the Supreme Court.
We are not vetting anybody by Zoom.
Why not?
Zoom. It won't happen. It has to be face to face. Viva voce, fili.
What's the difference?
You see, medical fitness, stamina, is also part of the qualifications.
Really?
Yes.
Article.
Oh, please. So, if we find a finance minister, which arguably is the primus inter pares of all the ministers, if he's not medically fit, we don't have to approve of him.
Really?
Yeah, you must bring some. In any case.
No, but how are you going to determine that already? You've said that.
Stamina is determined on the field of play.
No, but of course.
But let me. This is just in jest. But seriously, we'll be looking at a lot of issues, and I think that we shouldn't hurry with this because you see, we already have a Minister of State with additional responsibility for finance, and he's done so competently well so far. I have a lot of admiration for the leader of the House, and there's also a substantive. I think when his medical issues came up. Edouard, right?
He is only the president's representative.
I agree. But that is akin to being the finance minister.
Not necessarily, because his powers are limited. Okay, in terms of what decisions that he can take.
Honestly speaking, it is the honorable chairman who can exercise the powers of the finance minister now.
But I thought you were trying to make a point when you
Yes, so I'm saying that we shouldn't say that because there's no substantive finance minister, nothing can happen. He has presented the budget. We are dealing with it.
Sure.
in accordance with procedure. So, in fact, I urge that Chairman Sabonsu continues as in his additional portfolio. Case should come. If it's medically fit, we'll look at it. We'll look at it and consider. But if it's not medically fit, you should leave the job for Chairman Sabonsu to do.
Isn't it too late now? He's a parent
Of course. I mean,
so nobody should rush and say Tuesday, so Tuesday, things must be done in a hurry.
I don't think that's any rush. In any event, I mean, you could take him for 1 day for 12 hours. Or you could take him for 2 days for 12 hours.
Or even for 1 week for 3 hours.
But how are you going to, yes, of course.
But seriously, shouldn't we be looking at, reforming our processes? He could have joined on Zoom.
I don't think that's a suggestion that should not be considered. But I'm saying that he asked for permission to travel. He's come back. He's notified Parliament of his availability for the vetting with some limitation, if you like, in terms of time.
Sure.
And so Parliament has agreed. My understanding, I don't know this for certain. I've heard. Of course, our place, we talk amongst ourselves. So my understanding is that the process is going to take 2 days. Today and then tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm sure that
I also have that intelligence.
That time frame. The committee will be afforded ample opportunity to exhaust all the issues that they intend to deal.
What are your expectations, though? You will come up again.
Which one is that?
You.
Come up again in terms of my expectation. But you see, yes. I think a Japa will come up. And if it comes up, I think that the finance minister would provide the explanations, because I don't see why we're making a fuss about a Japa if it's not politics that we're doing. Because right through November 2017, when the 2018 budget was presented, the intention of government to monetize our mineral royalties was indicated. Indeed, in that year, 2018, a law was duly submitted to Parliament for consideration and approval.
Yeah, but I thought that we all did agree, based on everything that happened, that in the form that it appeared, the Japa deal,
not at all,
wasn't good.
Look, not at all.
Hold on. We're going back to
we're not apportioning the times equally.
I'm actually wrapping up. This was just expectation. So please don't go.
I'm not going to go into detail.
After he speaks, we'll come back and discuss it.
The only issue that I found legitimate with respect to the Japa transaction was the question of value. Whether we were getting good value for the 1 billion capitalization that had been put on it.
Just 30 seconds.
And the finance ministry duly provided responses that, look,
thank you.
That is only a book value, and that the book building process would indicate the value. Apart from that, the rest of it is politics. What are we talking about?
Thank you, Mr. Mercer.
Tone down
very quickly.
And calm down. Mama V, one. Did you hear us raise corruption issues with Sino-Hydro? That is use of minerals for monetization. Did you hear us? We're talking about the quantum, but not the terms of the transaction. The only issue we raised was that...
Are you still talking about a Japa?
No, yes.
Asking about your expectations.
No, he said that from 2018, intention of government had been evinced in their budget statement. And I'm saying that...
This is not a matter of fact.
Yes, and I'm saying that Sino-Hydro is a similar transaction.
Does the Minerals Investment Fund to Parliament?
I'm saying that Sino-Hydro...
Was that law not passed that gave
Japa, you were...
The MIIF right to set up...
Mr. Japa, I want to wrap up.
A company that
Japa, when there are conflicts, you have to take it to Jesse. Our courts have been denying the authority to go into...
This is my chamber.
Passed the law. Which law? That said that
which law?
I'm afraid.
Company
which law
can be incorporated in any jurisdiction. What was your understanding?
As Speaker of this chamber,
which law? So
I am ruling that I am going.
So Japa is a scandal. It's a dirty deal. Look, when the president says he's bringing it back, he's worsening his situation. We are waiting for...
I thank you, gentlemen,
for go and rehabilitate the deal and bring it.
Thank you so much for your time. Mr. Dahomapol, don't accuse me of not giving you enough time.
You did not.
Thank you very much
you
for the time as well. Thank you for staying with us. I hope that you've enjoyed this conversation. We've got plenty more coming your way. You're watching the AM show. This is my chamber. I rule. I decide what to do.